I think it's a beautiful way to light because it's simple.
The quality of the light is amazing, and it comes close to that feeling of real sunlight coming through the window.
I guess it frees up time because you're not running cable to everywhere, or having to put up loads and loads of frames or things to control a big lamp. There's more time to kind of finesse.
There's more time to light.
It's like you're touching the light. It's like you're closer to touching the light. You're like removing the lamp. So you're not touching or moving a lamp. It's like you're actually touching and moving the light.
When you walk into the room and you see that lit by this, you think, yeah, the sun is coming through. So that believable light, that's what is really convincing, I think.
Gives me great pleasure to have today with some gaffers and cinematographers. And we're here to talk about reflected light, specifically the one light that rules them all, the PB70. And we're going to focus on the PB70 today. So I'll do some quick introductions. We've got Jason and Jono. Jono Smith, Jason Clare from a London-based company called Reflectric. They're Gaffers Cinematographers, and you work specifically with reflected light. We've got Schmidtholstein, who's a gaffer, and she works on feature films and television productions and all sorts. And Oona Menges, cinematographer, who also works on feature films and television. And they're all into the reflected light system, which is something that's really come about in the last 2 or 3 years. So let's open this up to talk specifically about the PB70, Infinity Lighting.
The quality of the light is amazing, and it comes close to that feeling of real sunlight coming through the window. Because of that virtual light source, it has traveled already before it comes out of the head, so it's far away. So you would need to put your HMIs or whatever 50 meters away, which is impossible.
I mean, for me, I believe it. I believe the light, which is the most important thing for me. And to believe or be touched by a light, it would have to be a big light, like a big mole beam or something to make me feel that. So, and I find it much easier to shape and control. This feels like there's a lot less on the set.
Also, if you're in a virtual studio, again, you want the light to feel like it's coming from further away. So you're creating a sunlight, and you want it to feel like it's beyond the virtual wall. It's coming from high in the sky, and this gives you that. So in that virtual world, I think this has got a lot of great things that could happen with it.
Yeah.
Okay, you touched on something there, which is actually what Dado calls the virtual light source, which is the fact that this light is special. It creates authentic looking sunlight, and it creates what Dado calls infinity lighting. Light from a very far distance is how he terms it.
The feel of it is that the fall off is different to your usual light.
It feels like it's coming from further
Usually
away.
you measure it there, and you measure it twice the distance, and you get a quarter of the light output with the inverse square law. And with this light, you don't have that fall off as such. That is working against the law somehow. Has traveled already 20 meters before it comes out of the head.
Well, it feels like it's coming from 20 meters away. So the lamp is 70 centimeters across the diameter, and it's a 2-degree beam. So if you were to imagine the lines of the 2-degree beam, 70 centimeters across, those 2-degree lines would kind of meet somewhere 20 meters behind the lamp, approximately 20 meters. So that's where it feels like the light is coming from as soon as you turn it on.
And that's received by the parabolic reflectors?
Yes, the whole of the lamp is a parabolic reflector behind it. There's no focusing disc behind the bulb. The lamp is a parabolic reflector with the bulb in the middle. And because you're using a mirrored surface, so the light already feels like it's coming from 20 meters away. And then when it's on the number 1 reflector, it feels like it's coming from 1.5 times beyond the mirror. So it's 1.5 times, so it's 20 meters plus whatever this is, 7 meters.
Yeah.
So that will feel like it's coming from 30 meters behind this reflector.
And that's sort of, I mean, it's just, that's great when you're on a film when you can't take over the road and put a massive light on the other side of the road.
It can be right here, but actually,
Yeah.
It's a big saving.
And then you get all the, you know, true parallel, you can't really see there, but true, you know, you get true parallel shadows. So the PB70 has this Infinity Lighting where the factor is a bulb in the center of a parabolic mirror. So the glass diameter is 70 centimeters across and the beam angle is 2 degrees. So if you were to imagine this 2-degree line 70 centimeters apart and trace it back, it would meet 20 meters behind the lamp. So already it feels like it's coming from an enormous distance, but also it's a front-facing HMI bulb, and it's pointing into a black cone, and the dado bulbs have a special frosted band across the arc of the HMI. So this is basically, you're getting a round point source reflected back into the light. It's not with a traditional HMI or say a traditional tungsten filament where you've got it's vertical, and when that's glowing it's always going to be this vertical stick. Or if it's a HMI bulb and it's, you know, a double-ended bulb, you've got that arc in the middle. This is there's all these other things that help create this natural illusion of daylight. It's the virtual light source and the fact it's this round point light source that feels like it's coming from far away that really helps mimic sunlight.
The light has traveled 20 meters before it comes out of the housing, basically. And that makes it a light that is so close to sunlight coming through windows, for example, and the fall off is much more like sunlight or like daylight. The idea of that virtual light source is bringing it so close to the feeling of sunlight, basically. So that's really convinced me.
the quality of the light, I've got a little bit of a problem with lots of LEDs and lights that take less power. So the quality of this light is, I believe it in my gut or something. And there's so many lights that I don't, unless they're massive, big mole beams and carbon arcs and things like that. So it's been a game changer for me. And then it's completely opened up the experience of lighting with lots of different sparks. I feel like they might be as sceptical at first or think, oh, it's just a reflector. And it is just a reflector. But actually, when they get into the feathering and the different kind of amounts and realise how much less work is involved, or realise what it means to them that they're more engaged in the actual lighting instead of running the cables and switching the thing on, that's when I see them getting excited.
Infinity Lighting, yeah, this thing creates, because it's got that beautiful parabole behind the light which encapsulates all the light and fires it out, it just looks like it's coming from much further away. And because it's such a straight beam of light, there's no spill off it. You know, you can put it on the ground and fire it up 4 floors of a building and be filming up on the 3rd floor and hang a reflector out of the floor above. Your light's on the ground and you're reflecting really good sunlight into it, and it's looking like it's coming from 100 meters beyond where the light actually is.
It's going to be standard kit for me now. You know, if they're around and we can afford them, then I'll have them. I'm about to prep another film right now, and one of the main sets is quite a small area, and I'm thinking I might not need anything else. I'm thinking I can have this outside, it's in a studio, on the floor, and just going into mirrors and lighting the whole thing like that. So, yeah, I'm already designing the next job around it. So I don't know what that would do to production if they got a list and it's like one light and a couple of reflectors, might blow them away.